Residents of Tshwane, good morning. Today we are here at Corner van der Walt and Proes. Mainly we are here for our event of Dr. Nasiphi Moya Legacy Tours. Basically this tours is aimed at showcasing the work that Dr. Nasiphi Moya has done and with the coalition partners. One of them today we have identified Impintombi under the law enforcement or the rule of law. So I'm joined here today by the National Chairperson, Michael Beaumont, also the Provincial Chair, Ndate Funzi Ngoweni, and we are joined by also yourselves, ActionSA activist, and the Tshwane resident at large. So I'm going to hand over to the Provincial Chair so that he can take us through the theme of the event, of today's event.
Thank you.
Provincial Chair.
No, thank you very much, Regional Chairperson, Ntate Derek Mahlangu. Thank you, the activists are on ActionSA teng. Ke dumedise the councillors are on the join today. Batho ba Motswane kaofela dumelang. Today we resumula a tour. It's going to highlight mesebetsi e ntsweng haholo ke Mayor wa rona Dr. Nasiphi Moya together with the coalition partners ba ileng gore re sebetsa le bona. These events are going to be held across the region of Tshwane, and each of them will carry a certain theme that will be able to guide us as we go with this. So we're not going to be long. As I'm saying, the purpose really today is to start highlighting to you, the people of Tshwane, batho ba South Africa, batho ba Gauteng, things that some of you already know, which is the work that Dr. Moya and the coalition partners have achieved so far. Because as we remember, our mayor and the coalition partners inherited a city that was already on the brink of collapse. And they have done so much to turn it around in a short space of time. In many times, we don't celebrate some of the small things that are happening, but it's important that we do so that Batho ba rona can know, or indeed there's governments that can work. A government can work if it's led by people that has a political will, people that appreciates that governance needs to be done in an honest and transparent way. So that is why it's important that we must highlight this thing. Just yesterday, there was a court case that was held in one of the high courts here, where our government was applying for eviction of a building which it's about to collapse, and it's about to create problems where we might lose lives. Just like we have lost lives recently in Johannesburg where a building collapsed. So it's actually great that yesterday our government managed to win that particular case, and they've been granted an order to evict. So those are some of the things that this government is achieving. We'll highlight many of them as we go, particularly because we are in an election year. There is local government elections that are coming, and it's important that our people do remember where we come from as Tshwane and what has been done to turn it around. So as our regional chairperson was saying, we are not alone today, and to show that this project carries a national impact and national recognition, we are joined today by the national chairperson of our organization, Ntate Michael Beaumont, who's going to deliver a keynote address on this event, and he'll be the one delivering keynote address in all our events that are going to come here in the region of Tshwane. So with that said, welcoming Ntate Michael Beaumont.
Thank you, Funzi, and good afternoon, good morning, everyone, still morning. It's good to be here with you, standing on ground that is governed by an ActionSA mayor and the multi-party coalition she leads. And I'll tell you why it's good. So many political parties can only go around making promises to South Africans saying, if you elect us, we will do this. And if you elect us, we will do that. ActionSA doesn't have to do that. We can say, look at what is happening in our capital city. That is the ActionSA brand of government. And if you live in a broken municipality in this province or any other, and you would like to see it turned around, that is the promise that ActionSA can deliver. And the reason you can believe in it is because we're doing it on a daily basis in the city in a multi-party coalition government. But this city wasn't always like this. And we need to tell that story, because sometimes we're too polite. We're too focused on delivering. We're too focused on being good South Africans, while those who create the crisis in the city go around and campaign and lie. What I would like to see in this campaign, is for Cilliers Brink to be attached to a polygraph machine for the length of this campaign.
Yes.
Because that is a man who comes from a party that has governed the city for 8 years, since 2016, and broken it. And that's not even an opinion. The city was bankrupt when Dr. Nasiphi Moya became the mayor. The liquidity ratio was 0.4. It couldn't afford to pay its monthly obligations. It had built up 6 billion rand in debt to Eskom. So it took money from residents for electricity and just didn't pay Eskom. They developed a 1 billion rand liability to the workers of the city by refusing to address the obligations the city had made in the past to the workers and collapsing delivery in the city with strike action. And they broke service delivery in the city in such a way that many communities in the city simply didn't know they had a government any longer. That's the legacy that Dr. Nasiphi Moya inherited. And when you see the ambulance chases, that go around to campaign on the consequences of those failures, I want you to remember that they were the ones that created those problems in the first instance. But you know, the good thing about our mayor is she's a nicer person than I am. She doesn't dwell on these things. She just goes out and delivers. And that's good. That's why she's got her job, and that's why I've got mine. Because Dr. Nasiphi Moya has gone with her multi-party coalition government, and they've gone about correcting this work every single day, even though they're being provoked by the people that create the crises, and they're turning it around. And we're here today to talk about the rule of law, something that was broken in the city when Dr. Nasiphi Moya came in, and which is now starting to turn around. And look at where we are standing. I don't know if the camera can pan, but just around that corner is the infamous Ipitombi, the famous brothel that had been operating in Tshwane for years and years and years with impunity. Now look around at the building behind you. That's the city of Tshwane Metro Centre, where every one of the 7 mayors who have governed Tshwane since 2016 has worked 150 meters away from a brothel with no problem. And what happened? Dr. Nasiphi Moya came in. Hannes Kutsia, the MMC of Public Safety from ActionSA, came in, and they raided it and they shut it down. And if you walk down the street now, it is still shut down, because that's how you're supposed to close a place. But the work in public safety continues. The budget has been dramatically increased from 4.5 billion to 5.3 billion to ensure we recruit more Metro police officers. We provide more vehicles. We have more guns. We have the vests and the radios so that the Metro police can do their job, and that the fire department has the vehicles they need to prevent a crisis that was building in our city. We've started the first recruitment of Metro police officers in the city of Tshwane since 2015. Can you imagine, in 11 years, how big has the city grown? But they didn't add one more Metro police officer. Why? Because they broke the city's finances. Now the finances are okay, and the first 200 officers are already in training as you and I stand here today.
Yes.
And it won't be long before their boots are on the ground, and they're shutting down more Ipitombis. They are finding more people operating illegally in our city. They are dealing with the crisis of undocumented immigration in our city, and they are tackling the dealers of drugs and crime in our city. This is the work that's going to take place in this particular government. But it's not about the criminals outside only, it's also about the criminals inside the city that this government is demonstrating its difference. Because already 70 cases have been referred to the Financial Disciplinary Board. 60 individuals have already been fired for misconduct. 14.4 billion rand of unauthorized, irregular and wasteful expenditure by the previous governments is now under investigation. And I hope they pay for it.
Yes.
All of this work is taking place to make sure that Tshwane becomes a safer city. And now, for the first time ever, a real submission has been made to the National Treasury to blacklist Edwin Sodi.
Yes.
Because Edwin Sodi got the tender for the Rooiwal wastewater treatment plant. His businesses never knew how to work on a wastewater treatment plant. They didn't even have the money to set up the site. The city had to advance them the money against its own policies. And lo and behold, they took the money and they couldn't do the work. And all those years since then, ActionSA had to fight in our former coalition to get Edwin Sodi blacklisted, and they fought against us.
Yes.
And they fought against us. So what did we do? We got rid of a failing government. We lead the new government, and now Edwin Sodi will never be able to do work in this government or any other ever again.
Yes.
That's the ActionSA difference. And I'm very pleased to see the work our MMC Kolofolo Morodi is doing with the illegal buildings crisis in the city.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about the brand of ActionSA government, she didn't have to make this up from scratch. She had a blueprint delivered by Herman Mashaba when he was the mayor of Johannesburg. Herman Mashaba led the way in fighting hijacked buildings in our country from 2016, repossessing them, giving them back to their lawful owners, or handing them over so we could develop low-cost, affordable housing close to work opportunities. So when Kolofelo Morodi became the ActionSA MMC for group corporate and shared services in the city, she didn't have to wonder what she needed to do. She had a blueprint that she took from Herman Mashaba, she made it her own, and she's busy tackling that now in the city of Tshwane, and we're very proud of the work that she's doing. Long may she continue. But the work to deliver a safe city is not going to be won or lost today. It's going to take a long time, because like cockroaches, the criminals keep coming back. So we've got to keep at work, we've got to keep going, and we've got to make sure that the city of Tshwane becomes so unsafe for a criminal that they would rather go and operate somewhere else. That's the work that we need to do.
Absolutely.
But I also would like to assure those at home, those present, that ActionSA is not an arrogant party. We don't celebrate these achievements like we've arrived. We have so much work to do. There is a mountain to climb to overcome the legacy of 7 failed mayors that came before Dr. Nasiphi Moya. A lot of work needs to be done, and I can tell you when I interact with our government, they have the same attitude as well. But we will take the opportunity to celebrate these victories. And why? Because the people at home who are looking at a local government election in November saying, who the hell am I going to vote for? I have been failed by the DA, I've been failed by the ANC, I've been failed by the Freedom Front Plus, I've been failed by them all. Where can I look to somebody who can fix my broken municipality? And I stand before you today to say you could look to ActionSA.
Yes.
And the reason why you can do that with confidence is because here you have a young, talented mayor who is delivering. And she's delivering the ActionSA brand of government like Herman Mashaba is going to do in Johannesburg, like Xolani Khumalo is going to do in Ekurhuleni, and that is what ActionSA brings that no other political party can bring to the table. But the work in turning around the city doesn't just belong only with law enforcement operations. A lot is being done in other fields. Already 2 billion rand of debt has been settled with Eskom so that the city is no longer bankrupt any longer. Already, through the work of our MMC, again, she's obviously been very effective and very good as an MMC, we've negotiated with the unions and we've settled a 5-year labor dispute that the city was going to lose and cost them billions. And it's been done in a way that is affordable, that gives dignity to the workers, and says to them, you are not our enemies, you are our partners in service delivery, and we will treat you as such. Well done to the work that the MMC has done there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hundreds of kilometers of roads are being resurfaced. The energy crisis that Dr. Moya has inherited that's causing all of the outages is being addressed. Already those outages are going to start to come down in the months ahead, and Tshwane residents will remember these blackouts as a distant memory from a previous government that let them down. There is so much good work being done, and I look forward in the weeks ahead to going to the different locations around our city to share that story with South Africans, because South Africans are correct to feel depressed about the state of local government. Local government is broken. It is depressing. People have the broken roads, the sewage running through their street, the power going out when they're at home, the water not coming out of their taps, and they are gutful, and they are understandably gutful, which is precisely why we need to give them hope. We need to go out there and show them that there is another way. There is another option that can deliver services, that can fix broken municipalities, and that can govern responsibly in a coalition government that delivers stability. And let me take this moment just to finish up by making the important remarks to pay tribute to our coalition partners.
Yes.
We're not an arrogant political party. We have our feet anchored on the ground. We don't deliver any of this stuff alone. We do it in a multi-party coalition that couldn't exist without other political parties. We share the spoils of the successes of delivery in the city with all of those parties, and we thank them for the role that every one of them is playing in their own portfolios, because their success and our success is the success of the residents of Tshwane, and that's the only success that matters.
Indeed.
But from my side, thank you very much. I look forward to these tours in the future, and let's go and take this story and share it across our city. Let's make sure that the truth triumphs over the misinformation, and let's make sure that the people of South Africa see that there is a political party that's got their back. Thank you.
Thank you. How do you do it, Mike?
Is it fine? Okay. Dumelang badudi ba Tshwane. Thank you very much for joining us in this reflective tour. This tour was very important, not just to show that buildings are being closed, but to show that the mayor cares about the society and rehabilitating it. So we just want to thank you for being here with us, and we are asking that you go out and preach this message of progress that is happening in the city of Tshwane. So thank you very much, National Chairperson, Provincial Chairpersons, the MMCs who are here, the councillors, as well as the activists who are here. We thank you for being with us, and Raleboga. Let's go out and vote.